Alright guys, we currently have 2 more days left until this update ends, and in the next update we are going to have our brand new SSR unit, Varagarv. And in today's video, I'm pretty much going to discuss with you guys if this unit is going to be a major skip or a major pull. And everything that I'm going to say is just speculation, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. But let's not waste any time and let's go ahead and hop right into the video. So for the July event calendar, we are going to have Varagarv on July 3rd, which is going to be in a couple days, I think 2 or 3 days from now. So the number one reason why I feel like this unit is probably going to be a skip is because of his element. So we'll take a look at the Tower of God New World Wiki fandom. Let's look at Shinto properties. It says purple and shadow. So it's pretty obvious that this guy is going to be a dark element unit. So when we take a look at dark element unit, as you guys can see, dark element is literally the best element in the game. No questions asked. It is literally a powerful element. We have Vivi, who is an attack speed demon. We also have Joaquin, who's an amazing DPS unit. Hayura, absolutely amazing support unit, alongside with Kaseya, who's a busted assassin unit, and Karaka, who's an amazing tank unit. So if he is going to be purple element, just to let you guys know, I don't know if this is confirmed or not, I'm just speculating that if he is going to be purple element, then I feel like the number one class that he can compete with is tank, because as of to right now, we don't really have an amazing purple element SSR tank unit. So adding an SSR dark element tank unit would be a decent option if you don't have enough copies on Karaka, because I'm not gonna lie, my Karaka I think is at 2 green stars or 1 green star, and he's a good stall tank unit when you don't have a lot of copies on him. But most of the time, most SSR plus units do need a lot of copies. I will say the only units that don't require a lot of copies are Kaiser. I will say Awaken Rack. Awaken Rack doesn't really need a lot of copies. So there is, like, an exception to the rule, but most of the time some SSR plus units require at least 3 purple stars, 3 blue stars, or 3 red stars. So when I take a look at Vargarv, I feel like if he is going to be dark element, then the best way for them to implement this character in dark element is for them to make him a tank unit. If they make him a support unit, I don't think that's gonna happen. He doesn't even look like a support unit, to be honest. And I feel like if they were to make him a warrior unit, then he can compete with Joaquin, because I'm not gonna lie, all of the characters that we have in the game so far, like most of the characters that they released recently, Kaiser, Vivi, all of these DPS units, they have been doing a lot more damage than Joaquin, if I'm being honest. I will say Joaquin, his survivability is really, really good, but his damage compared to Vivi, I feel like her damage is way higher than Joaquin's damage. So I feel like if they were to make him a tank unit or a warrior unit, he would have a chance to compete with Joaquin. I don't think Joaquin is ever going to get replaced out of the meta, because Joaquin is just an amazing unit. Like, he's just OP. But Vargarv in warrior would give him a good opportunity to compete with Joaquin, and putting him in tank, I feel like he would have a chance to pretty much be a good unit, because he's not really competing with anybody else. But if they put him in assassin, ranged, I would say mage isn't a bad option, but if they put him in assassin or ranged, he's gonna get smoked by Kaseya and Vivi. Like, there's gonna be no reason to even use him, because these two units are just absolutely amazing. So they really have to be smart about this. There are going to be updates where they are going to release, mid units. We had the Novick update when they released Novick. Novick wasn't really that good. Sometimes people do use him. I sometimes use him in Underground Laboratory, but other than that, I feel like Novick, he is by far one of the most mid units that they released so far. So maybe Vargarv is going to be that next Novick who is pretty much not going to provide any sort of value to Dark Element. Now, when we take a look at Blue Element, Novick actually had potential to be useful in this element, because when we take out the collaboration characters, we don't really have a solid tank unit for Blue Element besides Escanor. We only have Flight Eric Mazino, and Datamashni, and that is pretty much it. Those are like the only two units that can pretty much play as your stall tank or your full tank unit. Like I feel like for Fight Eric Mazino, you have to use him with another tank unit or a stall tank unit so that he can pretty much, you know, provide shield to your team and he can pretty much stay alive a lot longer. So Novick had potential, but the problem with this unit is his survivability is just terrible. Like he is a very squishy unit, and that just makes him very useless because he is a tank unit, and a tank unit's purpose is to pretty much survive. So if they can't survive, then their whole value is just their value just diminishes because they can't even do what they got to do. So it just goes back to, you know, Varagarv, and if he can't excel in being a tank unit or a warrior unit, I really see no need for him unless they make him, I don't know, some sort of mage unit. Because when we look at a mage unit for a dark element, the only one we have is Rachel. So maybe mage is going to be a good class for him, but I do feel like tank would be way more effective, and warrior will also be effective as well because he is going to compete with Joaquin. So three options for Vargarth to be a very useful unit in Dark Element is tank, warrior, and mage. Plus, we can't forget that on anniversary, SSR units will receive a major buff because of the Revolution expansion. So, like, he's gonna have to compete with a buff Joaquin, a buff Karaka, buff Kaseya, Hayura, and etc. He's gonna have to compete with so many amazing purple element units. So I don't know what they're gonna do here. I don't know what they're gonna do. If he ends up being a mid unit, am I gonna be disappointed? Not really, because that would pretty much give us a chance to save up for anniversary. So I wouldn't really be, you know, that I wouldn't be too mad if they made him a mid unit. But if he ends up being some sort of, you know, amazing tank unit or warrior unit, that pretty much gives us a lot more options. So if you're, you know, if you don't want to build Joaquin, then we can try Varagarv. So I feel like, you know, this unit, I don't know how to feel about him. I feel like he's currently, you know, stuck in between a unit that's probably going to be a must pull unit or a unit that's going to be like a must skip. Like you're gonna have to skip him. I don't know. So we're just gonna have to wait and see when Vargov releases, but I'm 100% sure that he is going to be Dark Element. And like if he's gonna be Dark Element, the only thing that concerns me is which class he's going to be in. And if he's in ranged assassin, he's cooked because he's not going to compete with Kaseya or Vivi. There's no way he's going to compete with Vivi. Kaseya, maybe he might be a really good assassin unit, who knows. But I feel like he has more of a chance in tank and warrior. So tell me what you guys think, man. Do you guys think Vargarv is going to be a must-have unit, or is he going to be a mid unit? Let me know in the comment section down below, but I'll be ending the video at that. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. I'd be appreciated. I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Peace.